Soil looks simple from above, but beneath the surface it holds a layered world where air, water, roots, fungi, and countless animals share tight, shifting space. Every handful of healthy soil contains more living organisms than there are people on Earth, each one doing a small job that connects to everything around it. At the top, fallen leaves break down in slow motion as fungi thread through them, softening edges and starting the process that turns litter into nutrients. Worms pull pieces downward, dragging fragments into tunnels where bacteria finish the work, converting rough material into rich, dark particles. These tunnels are more than pathways, they act like plumbing, letting rainwater move deeper instead of flooding the surface. Fungi stretch even farther, forming vast underground networks that connect one plant's roots to another's, acting like fiber optic cables for nutrients. A tree struggling in dry soil can receive water or minerals from neighbors through that network. A quiet cooperation happening beyond our sight. Roots explore constantly, sensing moisture, detecting chemical trails from other plants, and navigating around stones with slow, decisive pressure. Beetles patrol these spaces, chewing through rotting wood, their jaws helping break down pieces too tough for microbes alone. Ant colonies expand chambers, grain by grain, storing seeds, raising young, and farming tiny fungi in rooms kept at steady humidity. Termites in warmer regions build towering structures above ground, but their true work happens below, where they turn wood into fertile soil. Millipedes move slowly through the dark, grinding dead plants into smaller pieces that speed up decomposition for everything else. Springtails hop through thin air pockets, feeding on fungi and algae, their tiny movements helping keep mold in check. Even mites, almost invisible to the eye, shape this underground forest by shredding plant fibers into pieces small enough for bacteria to digest. As organic matter breaks down, soil grows darker and richer, forming a layer that can hold water like a sponge during dry spells. When rain falls, these layers filter each drop, removing sediments and chemical traces until clean water reaches deeper aquifers. Plant roots anchor to these layers, and the soil structure determines whether forests, prairies, or wetlands can exist at all. In prairies, deep roots dive several feet to pull up minerals and stabilize loose ground against wind erosion. Forests rely on shallower but widespread webs of roots that lock soil in place across slopes and ridges. Wetlands form where water pools near the surface, creating thick, oxygen-poor soils that slow decay and store carbon for centuries. Animals visiting these places leave tracks, droppings, and shed plant material that all become part of the soil's ongoing renewal. When a log falls, its interior slowly turns soft, and insects carve channels that fungi expand, turning wood into soil over decades. Moss grows on the log as it ages, trapping moisture, keeping shade, and inviting more life to join the process. Under that moss, salamanders shelter in cool pockets, feeding on insects that also feed on the decomposing wood. Each of these actions, chewing, tunneling, digesting, breaking down, feeds the next step in a chain that never stops. Over time, the ground becomes a record of everything that lived above it. Pollen grains, charcoal from old fires, shells from insects long gone. Farmers, forests, rivers, and grasslands all depend on these layers staying healthy and full of life. When soil is compacted, eroded, or stripped of organic matter, its entire underground forest collapses into a thin, lifeless crust. But when protected, soil can rebuild itself, grain by grain. As plants return, roots stabilize the ground, and microorganisms begin their slow repair. A single season of fallen leaves adds new fuel for decomposition, inviting worms and fungi to restart the cycle. As those leaves break down, they feed the plants above, which in turn feed insects, birds, and mammals through the food web. All of it relies on the quiet work happening underground, where life moves slowly but never stops. In every forest, meadow, and backyard, soil forms a hidden ecosystem that holds everything together from the roots up. Even if we never see it, this underground forest shapes the health of our water, our food, and the landscapes we depend on. And every step we take presses lightly on the ceiling of a world that never stops working, transforming death into life one grain at a time.